A young brother and sister, a nasty duet, like to scare people with their preteen bets. James and Emma would jump scare and tease. A certain old neighbor, scaring her was a breeze. The old lady Blackwood lived alone, had a beautiful house with a lovely garden she'd grown, lush raspberry bushes and a large peach tree. She would tend her garden most regularly. Beautiful flowers and vegetables so ripe, everything so perfect, every color and type. The siblings would hide behind trees and fences, alongside large statues and wrought iron benches. The two went on with their trickster attitude. Mrs. Blackwood complained that these tweens were very, very rude. They would jump out and scare her. She often yelled back. Their mother told them to stop before they gave the poor woman a heart attack. One day they seen the old lady pulling some weeds, when the brats decided to exercise their scaring deeds. James crawled along the hedge, only a few feet away. This would be a good scare. She'd remember this day. He crept closer and waited for the precise attack, as Emma would draw the attention for the perfect react. "Excuse me, Mrs. Blackwood." But the old woman did not move. Not a shake, not a twitch. The siblings both disapproved. Emma crept closer. Perhaps Blackwood didn't hear her voice. "Mrs. Blackwood," she hollered out with more voice. Still no movement. The tweens were confused. Did she have a heart attack with all their abuse? James righted himself as his sister ran home. He noticed it was a statue with a woman's clothes overthrown. He laughed out loud. "Good one, you got me," then turned around. He was struck over the head and unconsciously fell to the ground. Later that day, Emma wondered where her brother could be. She told her parents, and they went to the neighbors to see. There was no sign of James. Mrs. Blackwood said she hadn't had a clue. The family called the police and put up signs, and wait was all they could do. Still no James. The family was stressed as days went by. Mrs. Blackwood wanted to help, so she baked a pie. A rap-tap-tap at the door. Emma opened it to greet. Mrs. Blackwood smiled and said, "Here, it's mincemeat." Emma said, "Thanks. I appreciate your kindness. Sorry he scared you, and I was his accomplice." "Bad children get punished," Mrs. Blackwood exclaimed. "He was worse, but you're both to blame." The old lady backed up and started down the front porch stairs. Emma looked at the mincemeat pie and pulled out one of her brother's hairs.